With tensions heating up between Saudi Arabia and Iran over the execution of a Shia cleric, some believe that the United States would likely side with Saudi Arabia. In fact, the US and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, or KSA, have long been extremely close. Yet ideologically and culturally, the two embrace completely opposite values and seem unlikely friends. So why exactly are the US and Saudi Arabia allies? Well, when Saudi Arabia was created in the early 1930s, it was an extremely poor country. But following the discovery of oil in the region and the Cold War divide after the Second World War, the United States recognized Saudi Arabia as an ally. At the time, the KSA was anti-communist and was a natural enemy of the Soviet Union. During the Soviet-Afghan War, Saudi Arabia and the United States supported rebel Afghan fighters known as the Mujahideen against Soviet forces. Additionally, the Saudis strategically upped their oil production in order to make Soviet oil sales unprofitable. This move crippled the Soviet Union, which was desperate for oil income to match US military spending. At the heart of the relationship between the US and Saudi Arabia is oil. The United States imports more than 1 million barrels of Saudi oil a day, making up 13% of their total oil imports. However, in 1973, Saudi Arabia, along with other oil-producing countries, began an oil embargo against the United States. This was in protest of the US's support of Israel during the Yom Kippur War. The embargo ended the following year, but had a severe impact on the US economy and way of life. According to economist and author John Perkins, in order to prevent future embargoes from affecting the US, Saudi Arabia promised to support the US in oil sales and invest in US bonds and securities. In exchange, the US would politically and militarily support Saudi Arabia, while also using American companies to build up Saudi infrastructure. Moreover, besides this alleged deal, the US and Saudi Arabia already held a long-standing mutual defense treaty, which they signed in 1951. The US has even established military training facilities in the KSA. More recently, during the 1990 Gulf War, the US used Saudi Arabia as a base from which to enter the conflict. But the long-standing relationship between the two countries came under fire following the events of September 11th. 15 of the 19 attackers were Saudi Arabian nationals, as was the leader of al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden. Although the Saudi government denied any link to the attacks, numerous sources suggest that high-ranking Saudis have funded terrorist activity around the world. It is likely that in terms of foreign politics, having a strong ally in the Middle East is considered more important than openly opposing a repressive regime. But numerous human rights abuses, civil violations, and brutal censorship in Saudi Arabia have many questioning whether the US should continue this alliance. But with or without the support of the United States, Saudi Arabia is extremely wealthy and surrounded by like-minded countries. So how would they fare in an actual war with Iran? Check out this video right here.
Both countries are massive and are only separated by a few miles of Persian Gulf. Iran covers roughly 600,000 square miles, while Saudi Arabia occupies about 800,000 square miles. They also have very high GDPs, with Iran ranking around 28th worldwide and Saudi Arabia at number 19.
Thanks for watching TestTube News. Don't forget to like and subscribe for new videos every day.